He asked the warring parties to treat it as a safe area.
Those against, the draft resolution has been adopted unanimously as Resolution 819.
The safety zone in
Srebrenica, that will be a safe area.
What does that mean?
That's shortly safe.
Safe area? You know? Okay.
The next morning, the UN commanders on the ground had to present the resolution to the Bosnian Serb general Ratko Mladic.
Mladic est monté sur ses grands chevaux en disant « Ah, je suis l'armée de Serbes, c'est pas possible qu'on me considère comme ça ».
General Mladic named his price for not overrunning the town.
Ja sam dao predlog sporazuma koji se sastoji u tome da se definiše tačno vreme predaje oružja muslimanske strane.
Y Mladic se levantaba y se ponía a jugar al ping-pong con un coronel francés durante 3/4 de hora, mientras los bosnios se metían en una pequeña habitación.
Srebrenica's protector found himself urging the Bosnian government commander to disarm his men in the town.
Na što je on odgovorio da meni da se to mora uraditi upravo onako kako mladi straži jer situacija je bezizlazna tamo.
The Bosnian government commander bowed to the inevitable. The UN claimed a victory. They had halted the Serbs. But General Mladic knew he could take the town whenever he wanted.
El acuerdo fue, en definitiva, desmilitarizar a cambio de la presencia de una compañía canadiense en el lugar y a cambio de la rendición de Srebrenica para convertirlo en una safe area que en términos serbo-bosnios era un gran campo de concentración rodeado y controlado militarmente por ellos.
A week later, President Clinton opened the Holocaust Museum. Srebrenica had brought home to everybody there the parallels between Serb ethnic cleansing and Nazi genocide.
I have been in the former Yugoslavia, and Mr. President, I cannot not tell you something. We must do something to stop the bloodshed in that country.
Ethnic cleansing, what does that remind you of? And what is our responsibility? And who stood there while the Jews were being taken away?
To deal with such questions, the international community offered up the Vance Owen plan, devised by two ex-foreign ministers.
70% they have a sort of horseshoe.
Lord Owen went on American television to explain it.
If we're going to get peace by negotiation, then we've got to get these three peoples together, they've got to learn how to share power, and they've got to share the country, and we've got to stitch it together again. We were not only keeping, or if I would say stitching the country back together again, but we were also going to reverse ethnic cleansing.
Bosnia would remain one country, with 10 provinces, each with control over education, transport, and their own police force. This allowed the Serbs local control of much of the territory they now held. But the provinces were so arranged that it would be impossible for the Serbs to form a separate state.
It was a bit too idealistic. It was actually attempting to roll back a victorious army, the Serbs, by some 27%.
Lord Owen flew to meet President Milosevic, the man behind the Bosnian Serbs. The UN had given Owen a new weapon, the threat of crippling sanctions on Serbia and their ally Montenegro if they did not back his plan.
What is at issue is whether the Serbian people in Bosnia-Herzegovina, in Serbia and in Montenegro take on the world.
Well, that Sunday morning was the first time, really, I'd ever had both a stick and a carrot. The stick was the UN Security Council resolution, which was toughening up sanctions.
S druge strane je bila šargarepa ponuda da se prihvati Vanceovenov plan, plan koji je u osnovi, po našim procjenama, omogućavao da se politički ciljevi realizuju političkim sredstvima, a ne više ratom.
Nema drugog rješenja nego rješenja koje će podjednako zaštititi interese sva tri naroda. Kada je Vanceovenov plan predložen, on je imao manje više uravnotežen prilaz.
What they wanted to know was, in the interim presidency, could the Muslims exert their majority over Croats and Serbs?
Dobili smo pojašnjenja i predsjednik Milošević je rekao, ok, u redu, nas ste ubijedili.
They effectively had a veto. Pretty difficult form of government, incidentally, I have to say, but that was the structure that was on offer. I remember Milosevic sort of stretching back and saying, I feel confident or content with this decision. He knew perfectly well it was going to cause problems, but for the first time that day, he had really backed a peace plan in its totality.
Owen now summoned all the parties to a hastily arranged conference. The Bosnian president, Alija Izetbegović, had already agreed to the plan. So had President Tudjman of Croatia and the Bosnian Croats. Only the Bosnian Serbs remained.
Ja sam objašnjavao Miloševiću da će nakon našeg potpisa doći velike snage Ujedinjenih nacija tu i da ćemo mi biti isječeni, da nećemo moći da živimo.
But Owen was confident that President Milosevic, as their financial and military overlord, could make the Bosnian Serbs sign.
Ελπίζω και προσεύχομαι το μήνυμα από την Αθήνα προς τους βασανισμένους λαούς της Βοσνίας Ερζεγοβίνης να είναι μήνυμα χαρμόσυνο.
As soon as the formalities were over, Milosevic bundled the Bosnian Serbs up to their suite. He assured them that in backing the plan, he was not betraying them.
Njegov glavni argument je da to neće funkcionisati. Da će da plan propadne tokom implementacije.
Mislim da oni nisu razumeli prednosti Vensovenovog plana jer su suviše bili opsednuti teritorijalnim pitanjima.
On je rekao, zar je moguće, Radovane, da ti ovo ne vidiš? Zar je moguće da ne shvataš da ovo nije suprotno sa onim o čemu ti pričaš? Je li moguće da smo toliko glupi pa da ne vidimo jasno neke stvari?
To je za nas bilo veoma riskantno, to je veliki rizik, ja nisam mogao to da prihvatim, jer sam znao da je, recimo, međunarodnoj zajednici dovoljno 10.000 vojnika, 5.000 u Zvornik i 5.000 u Posavino koridor i Srbi su gotovi.
Nismo ih ubedili ni do 11. Produžujemo u 12. Nismo ih ubedili ni do 12. Molimo se 1 sat. Za 1 sat sednicu.
Svako nas je živ nagovarao da prihvatimo. Čak su i konobari koji su nam donosili kafu pitali da li ćete vi ovo prihvatiti.
Onda smo tom stolu prišli Milošević i ja i rekli smo im svo vrijeme je isteklo.
Karadžić u jednom nemom grču očaju uzima svoje pero i potpisuje.
This is a happy day, a day in the Balkans, a day in Athens, sunshine, and let's hope that this does mark the moment of an irreversible peace process for Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Prevarili ste se. Stavljanjem potpisa na Vance-Owenov plan, Srbi nisu izvršili samoubistvo. Srbi su ovim potpisom samo pokazali svijetu da će ostati i opstati na svojoj teritoriji, na teritoriji Republike Srpske, a parlament će reći svoju riječ.
The Bosnian Serb Assembly was Karadic's escape clause. His signature in Athens had been conditional on their ratification of the plan. The members gathered at their self-proclaimed capital, a former Olympic ski resort. The Greek Prime Minister